Okay, this is gonna be a long one. Today I am going to go over my witchy history. I wanted to make this video mainly to give some backstory, show where I started, where I am. I don't know where I'm going, so I can't tell you that much, but give you an idea of like what I was raised with and that kind of thing. I started out as a baby witch because of my mom. She is actually a certified priestess. Like she can do weddings and everything. I think she's actually done like two or three, maybe. She also had a Wiccan priest at her wedding, so they did like hand fasting and they lit the candles and all that good stuff. Now she didn't like force me into it or like raise me with that kind of thing. My parents were very good about giving us options. I say us, me and my brothers. They gave us options. They were like, if you want to go to church, we'll take you to church. If you want to go to a mosque, if you want to be Jewish, you know, if you want to do meditation, whatever, you go do you. And they said that they, you know, would drop us off at church or whatever. Because my dad's an atheist. I don't know, he doesn't talk about it. So they were very good about giving us a choice, and I was a very big, still am, bookworm, and my mom, because of her priestess status, had all these books on her bookshelf, and I would scour their books for something to read, and I would read all her Wicca stuff. So because I was reading all of her books, she had a lot of stuff on tarot and numerology. I was a huge math nerd, so I was all about numerology and seeing patterns in it. And then her tarot cards, I was really interested in how each one had a different meaning depending on how it was used and if it was inverted and all that kind of thing. And they were very pretty. I don't know what set she had, but they were very pretty. And I had always liked the idea of astrology, and I had a telescope growing up, and I watched the stars, and I loved like the eclipses and that kind of thing. I had books on it. So reading all this stuff about the stars and horoscopes and all that stuff, I just kind of felt at home reading it. And so I started asking her questions, and I just found myself doing more and more things with her. We started doing spells together. Nothing like we'd light a candle for something specific. Like we wouldn't do like intense stuff. I can't even think of the word for it. So I got more into it and I started getting my own books. This is all when I was like, I was in middle school. I don't know what age middle school is, but I was that age. So I got the book To Ride a Silver Broomstick by, I think, yeah, that's it. Ride a Silver Broomstick by Silver Ravenwolf. Sorry, I have notes. And I loved it, but now that I'm older and doing more research, like actually in the witch community, instead of just like scholarly research, Ravenwolf is not the greatest resource. She's very opinionated and not so much fact. And it's just not a good place to start. So because my mom was Wiccan, I was all about the rule of three, like the Wiccan breed, following the calendar, all that kind of thing, no hexes, no jinxes. So there's really one aspect of being Wiccan that I just didn't jive with. The idea of the goddess was beautiful to me, like everything she stood for and what you could, she could help you with and that kind of thing. But I just felt uncomfortable every time I tried to talk, you know, communicate with her or any deity, any god. It was almost awkward and just didn't feel right with what I was doing, or I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. So I didn't do it very often. And it felt like something I should do as a witch based on everything that I had read and my mom and everything. I don't know, it just felt like something I should do as a witch. And now that I'm older and I've refined my practice, refined is not a good word for that because I don't know what the hell I'm doing any more than anybody else. I mean, there's guidelines and there's general ideas of what you should do, but I mean, it's called a practice for a reason. You're not done learning stuff. I realized that I'm not Wiccan anymore, and I've kind of transitioned to more of a secular witch, which means without religion. So I don't use deities or gods, the goddess. I don't use any of that. I just practice witchcraft. And it took me a while to realize that you could do that. You can do magic without being Wiccan or pagan or any of that stuff. Like, I still have elements of it. Like, I'll still do small stuff with my mom. I mean, I'll still do spells with my mom and stuff for like the wheel of the year. I'm not as heavy set on the threefold rule anymore. I do agree that karma's a bitch and it's gonna get you if you're kind of a cunt. But I've gotten more comfortable with the idea of doing hexes and jinxes. I haven't done any. I guess I just haven't met any douchebags that merit that kind of treatment. Lucky me. But I'm like, before I would be like, no, I can't do that. That'll come back on me. And now I've realized that just because you hex a bad person doesn't make you a bad person or a bad witch. So as I refine my practices and what I do kind of on my own since I've moved out, my mom isn't as involved, so it's just when I visit during holidays and stuff that she wants to do stuff, or we go shopping. There's a place in Jacksonville called Earth Gifts. They're pretty awesome. You should go visit them. We'll go shopping for like candles and that kind of thing if she has a specific idea in mind, and I'll be like, oh, I need blah 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 blah, you know. But doing stuff more on my own now, I've found I'm drawn more to the tech witch stuff. And I think it's because I like the social media and everything that I got involved in the witch community on Tumblr. I'll link a few of the people that I follow, and I think they have really good advice. They're older than me, so they've been doing it for longer. But I've also gotten into the tech apps. And so I have one that I'll show you. It's a daily tarot card app, and I have an Android phone, so it's a widget on my background. So that's the card today. And it'll do inverted. I can turn off inverted, but I kind of like the idea that a card's message can change depending on how you flip it. So I have that, and I do like a daily card, and it's not so much for predicting the day as just to give a general feel for the day, or maybe if I don't look at it for the end of the day, I'll be like, yep, that was today. Or like today, I think I actually, and I'm trying to post it because I'm trying to get myself to acknowledge it more, and I think posting it and putting out into the world, it gives it more power, charges it a bit more. Today's was something about, I'll read it. Oh, it might appear when you can't think clearly, and it's like stubbornness and forceful and that kind of thing. And so I thought it applied really well because I was trying to think of like video scripts and thumbnails for my gaming channel, and it was just, I was getting very frustrated with myself it wasn't coming through. I actually had to get Blake's help because we do the gaming channel together. I was like, can you just do this? I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm pushing myself too hard. And but anyway, I like applying the cards each day to give it a feel. I also have a moon phase app, and on the other side it shows the calendar. Like right now, I'll show you, it's like 25 days to Beltane. Oh, you can see the camera. The magic is ruined. But that's pretty cool. I like seeing the moons and that kind of thing, so I can just look and be like, oh, it's a full moon, or right now it's a new moon. It's really funny at work. They'll start talking about how people are acting weird today, or they're particularly stupid. That's my phone. they're talking about how people are particularly stupid, and I'll kind of look at my phone and I'm like, oh, it's a full moon. They're like, oh, that's why. The other thing that I really like about the tech witch aspect is I saw a new thing. It was, you use the swipe keyboard on your phone. So like if I want courage for something, on my swipe keyboard, I would swipe the word courage, and the line that it makes would be my sigil. That is Blake's phone. Anyway, so the pattern that it makes would be my sigil, and I've seen a few people, like, they cut off the tail or they'll like round it out more. They can tweak it a little bit to whatever they feel. But I thought that was such a good idea to use the technology and combine it with making sigils, because like I'll doodle and I'll try to make sigils, but it's hard sometimes just sitting there and being like, okay, I need to focus my energy into this one drawing for this one thing, when it's easier to just do like a keyword or that kind of thing. I also really like the kitchen witch stuff. I can't cook to save my life. I can follow a recipe okay, but sometimes it doesn't turn out. Blake for Christmas got me some herbs and they promptly died. I was very sad. But regardless, I'm gonna try again. I got rosemary, lavender, basil, and something else that I can't remember. Anyway, so I really like the herb stuff, and my best friend got me this special thing. She got me this. Can you see? Magical. So if I open it up, so like, it's one whole thing for just lavender, and it'll go through like, this is gardening, this is the different kind of lavenders, this is how you use it for medicinal purposes, this is what you can do for cooking, and just like it's so like this is ginger and eucalyptus, and just like, this thing is magical on its own. I don't even have to do anything to it. It's magical. I believe this was a Christmas present as well. Thanks, Allie. So yeah, I use this all the time. Like I have a few of these herbs at home. Like Blake does all the cooking and his family is Italian and from New Orleans. So they do all these spices and everything. So it's really cool. I don't have to buy spices. I can just steal them from my kitchen. But yeah, so I'm into that. What else do I have written down? That's pretty much most of my history. I didn't want to get too detailed with like how I do a spell or anything like that, but just to lay down, like, I started Wiccan, now I'm secular, and it happens, you know. It's not so much as losing faith as just kind of realizing it's not for me. So yeah, that is what my witchy history is. I didn't want to make this to put down like Wicca or pagan or anything, or to say that, you know, one is better than the other, or I don't know. I didn't make it to put down anything. I just kind of wanted to put out there what I do and that kind of thing. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to get more specific, I am planning on doing an altar tour. Just kind of like what's on it, what I frequently use, because I have an altar, but then I also have like an old bookshelf for like storage. I just have like some mason jars and some other stuff that I could show. But yeah, if you want me to, like I said, if you want me to get more specific, leave a comment with your question. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. And yeah, thanks for watching.